Hi guys, this is Ratchet Throw, and we are playing Criminal Case, Travel in Time, Case 13. Murder is no joke. Let's unlock Chapter 2, and somebody claims that he has seen our victim somewhere and that he is alive. Oi! Oi! Guards! Have I got news for you? The King's Chester is alive! Town Crier, you say Triple is alive? That's impossible. You must be mistaken. No mistake. I saw Triple with my own eyes near the musketeer barracks. How could Triple be alive, Katerina? We have to get to the bottom of this. Let's go to the musketeer barracks. I somehow have a feeling that Alexandra will appear. In this case, I don't know. And what's Penelope going to say about that? So, the town crier said he'd just seen Tribulette here, alive. But there's no sign of anyone fitting the victim's description here, Katrina. If you think that wouldn't just might help us understand what's going on, you need to unlock it. And you're right, something could be in that laundry basket too. We'd better rummage through it. But what about those pieces of metal? Looks like some kind of jewelry. We need to piece it together to be sure. We know that Tribulette cannot possibly be alive, but hopefully these clues will help us figure out what's going on. Maybe somebody just dressed like Tribulette. I mean, you get a suit and you put the hat on, and then people will just see your face. Maybe somebody just in a disguise. Oh, swords. You managed to open a wooden chest and it's full of swords. But one sword is covered in blood. Ooh, it's a rapier and it's got to be the murder weapon. And this sword's thinner than the others, like the rapier Janice and Penelope said was used to kill the victim. The sword could be the murder weapon. Let's get to Theo. Here, analyze it. Now the metal pieces. Okay, that's Tribulette and who's the other guy? Oh, that ain't gonna fit. Ah, here we go. The piece of metal turned out to be a locket. And look, that's a small painting of Tribulette. But who is the other guy? They look almost identical except for their clothing. Could it be that Tribulette had a twin brother? This would explain why the town crier thought he saw the jester alive and well. You're right, Katria, we better check this face against the town records to be sure. Well, I thought they looked much alike, and I thought that was just one person. He had one picture of himself in a jester outfit and the other was in normal outfit. Okay, now this basket. I was right, he was going to come. The flask that you found in the musketeer clothing has a name on it. Alexandre. Could the wine skin belong to the only musketeer we know? Alexandre Devereux? We last saw Devereux in England. He was a suspect in the murder of the Queen. And he's the musketeer that Penelope has a huge crush on. If Alexandre Devereux is in Chambord, we should speak with him. He may be able to help. Oh, you got some stain on your clothes. So is that going to be a piece of evidence? Piece of killer's profile? Alright, before you, let's identify the other guy on the locket. Charles Ferriol. According to these documents, Triple F was born Nicholas Ferriol, and he did have a twin named Charles. This backs up what we saw in the locket. Charles Ferriol looks exactly like his brother. Since Charles Ferriol left Chambord some years ago, but he must be back in town. He must be the person that the town crier saw. We must find this Charles Ferriol and find out what he knows about his brother's demise. He also has a stain, so no doubt about it, it's going to be a piece of killer's profile. Let's go have a chat with Alexandre. Ah, God Katerina, delighted to see you again. My darling Penelope has told me about your prowess at solving crimes. And speaking of Penelope, did she get my letter? What did she say? I'm sure she'll tell you herself. We need to speak with you about something else. Did you hear that Tribolette, the king's jester, was run through with a rapier and killed? Someone murdered Tribolette? Why would anyone do that? So you knew him? Well, I knew of him, of course. The boys at the barracks loved his jokes. Tribolette kept the king happy while soldiers like me keep his highness safe. We respected each other's work. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go to my daily fencing practice. I knew it was going to be. You're a musketeer and you must know how to fence. How many of you have this stain? Oh, you have it, and you have it. So you two are out. This is going to be a piece of evidence, so it's either one of you three. Alright, let's have a chat with the twin brother. Excuse us, are you Charles Ferriol, twin brother to Nicholas Ferriol, also known as Tribolette? I am, guards. I have just heard of my brother's murder and I'm devastated. My dear brother and I haven't seen much of each other. Our lives took us down different paths. He became the king's jester, and I, a tax collector in Aquitaine. I just arrived in Chambord today to deliver these taxes to the king. I was looking forward to see my brother after such a long while. I heard Brian the tastiest 40 grams you can imagine as a gift. But I said something was wrong. The twin bond, you see, but I never imagined it would be murder. Mr. Ferriol, we also want justice for your brother's murder. If you hear anything, please find us and let us know. Okay, nothing from you, you just eat this thing. Let's check out the rapier. Is it a murder weapon? Up for a bout of fencing, Katrina? Don't point it at me, I don't have any protection. But I would like to try it. First archery, now fencing. Did your fancy pants family ever let you play anything normal like basketball, Theo? Normal? Of course, I'm an ace at polo. Figures. So, did you have anything useful to tell us about the sword Katrina found? The good news is that this rapier Katrina found is indeed a murder weapon. The victim's blood was all over it. And was the hero kind enough to leave anything else behind on it? I'll take over from here, Theo. The rapier was specially handcrafted, which makes sense since this type of sword was relatively new in the Renaissance. But what's astonishing is that the handguard metal has been designed for a left-handed person. Now, being right-handed was seen as a devilish thing in this period, and this killer is left-handed. Well, the killer was definitely devilish, but not for being left-handed. And we need more clues if we want to catch them. Let's go back to the castle's banquet hall, Katrina. Okay. On guard. Somebody want to fight? Would love to try fencing. God damn it. Oh, this is what I need. Oh, got it! Last 2 seconds. Katia, you're back at the castle. Did you come to see the bureau? It's coming along, but you can't rush genius. No, we're back to search for clues, and I believe Katia has found some in the banquet hall. I see. Well, that parchment you found looks very official. It has the wax seal of the King Francis. You're right, but I can't make out anything else on the parchment. I'll grab your dusty kit, Katrina. We wouldn't want to bother the king for nothing. And those juggling clouds have a T on them. Dressers do juggle. They must belong to Triboulet. But what are those little pieces of white fabric all over the clubs? We'll need a sample. I do hope that you can find Triboulet's killer. King Francis was very attached to him and is terribly sad over his loss. Don't you worry, Leonardo. Katrina will catch and deliver the killer to the king. I can do this. Alright, first let's collect something from the juggling clubs. Well, I was thinking like juggling clubs, the jesters do that, so I knew we were going to need it. Katrina, you have a sample of those white fabric pieces of the victim's juggling clubs. Orlando will know what to make of them. Why here? Alright, fashion diver, try to identify what type of clothing is this. Okay, now this paper. And it's on French. You are covered in writing on a parchment. Hold on! According to the translator, this portrait says that the king is ordering Tribulette's execution. Oh! What was that about? Well, King Francis loved his jester. What could have made him so angry that he'd want to execute the victim? We'll have to navigate our next encounter with His Royal Majesty very carefully, but we must ask him what this order to execute the jester is about. Yeah, what did he do to deserve that? Have you found the villainous fool who killed the Joy of Chambord? We shall cite the right of execution immediately. We're still investigating your extremely serene highness. But speaking of execution orders, we found a writ of execution that you signed for Tribulette. Well, of course, we tried to execute him. His jabes and jibes were hitting a little too close to home. And we must live up to our motto, no trisco et extinguo, nourish the good and punish the bad. We asked Tribulette how he wished to die, and he said, of old age. Even facing death, he made a joke. We laughed so hard we almost choked on our foie gras. It was so amusing we didn't have the heart to execute him anymore. We still can't believe he's gone. We can't even bring ourselves to go fencing today. Excuse us. Poor King Francis, but yeah, Katrina, I noticed it too. His Majesty held his quill with his left hand. We'd better note it down. Let's check out the white fibers. Hello, Katrina. I got that sample you sent, but first I have a question for you. Have you seen Penelope? No. No, I didn't. No, we haven't seen her since the autopsy where she told us about the history of fencing in France. She's been in a daze ever since she met that dashing musketeer. If you see her, can you tell her to get back to work? Of course, but about that sample of fabric from the Jester's juggling clubs. Any idea what it was? Yes, it's English tainted lace. Or, at least it was before it was ripped to shreds. English lace? How can you tell? Well, English tainting is done with a throw around a shuttle's needle instead of using a picking motion as the French do. English lace in France? This lace must belong to Anne Boleyn. Good call, Katrina. Lady A claimed to have nothing to do with the victim, yet her lace was on his juggling clubs. We need to get to the bottom of this. Oh, so you knew him. Well, did you knew him? Lady Anne, you denied having anything to do with Tribulette before, yet your lace was all over his juggling clubs. Thank you very much for bringing up such an unpleasant incident. One evening, Tribulette stole my plate of foie gras, and when I caught up with him, he grabbed me and lifted my skirts for a laugh. Then he spanked my bum right in front of King Francis. Whoa, that's not funny. I agree, and that's why I lost my temper and bit his leg to break free. My lace was ripped to pieces, but I was able to grab his stupid juggling clubs and hit him right where it counts. That got a laugh. Lady A, what a fighting spirit. But even if the victim's behavior warranted a strong response, I hope you left it at that, for your sake. Oh, you only eat this. Katrina, we still don't know who stabbed Tribulette the jester with a rapier. King Francis seems very sad, but he didn't dare to execute Tribulette. I thought he was a man of reason with a love of the arts. He wouldn't just hold off and execute his jester. Maybe the jester did go too far with his jokes. Lady A had a physically violent encounter with Tribulette before the entire court. Did the situation escalate? And what a shock to discover that the victim had a twin brother. God, Katrina, forgive me the intrusion, but I have news. I have found Triple X Killer. Oh, you did? Well, who is it? You're a good guy, so I can trust you, but there's still a... But we go with the evidence, so... We'll see about that. We're gonna stop here, we're gonna continue playing in chapter 3. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like to this video, and I'll see you again. Goodbye!